some fourth graders get hands-on with science to discover how to save energy. We'll show you how things are stacking up for a popular elementary activity. High school students learn how to get a step ahead of the competition in a job interview. And the shadow sits in with some of the district's top bowlers. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Some savvy fourth graders now know a lot more about energy use and conservation.
So the first thing I think we're going to do is something a little different, but we're going to be using the same tool. Remember the kilowatt that we plugged in?
Thanks to the district's business partner, Kansas City Power and Light, the students have been taking part in something called the National Education Energy Development Project, or NEED project for short.
It's teaching them 13 different ways that energy is transformed, and being an ex-science teacher, it was really fun to go through the trainings with the teachers, and then also seeing the students walk around the building doing hands-on activities where they're really getting into the inquiry-based instruction.
An instructor from the NEED project visited Tomahawk and Trailwood to teach students about energy usage and ways to conserve. He brought lots of cool hands-on tools that let students discover where energy is being used. Maya explains how her favorite tool helps find energy waste in artificial lighting.
You can sense how much light is coming down. If you have less, it's not good for your eyes or something, and if it's more, then you could be saving energy.
It's 122.9.
Students used a watt meter to test energy use on all sorts of appliances and discovered some surprises.
The Coke machine, it didn't use that much watts. The toaster, I thought it was going to use less, but it seemed like it used a lot.
The microwave, it used over 1,700 watts, and I thought it would only use 1,000 or less.
Okay, anything else you can remember? That a cloth, a crock pot, how many watts was that?
Even learning the wattage of a microwave or a fan, these are things that the kids haven't even thought about.
And it was really cool too, because in my group we started, after we checked the wattage of a couple of appliances, we started predicting what we thought another appliance would be, and they were really surprised how something really small could use up more than what they might have guessed.
It's just created a little buzz around the school, and there's a lot of younger and older people who want to be fourth graders this year, just because of the cool things that they're doing.
The teacher's favorite part of being involved in the NEED project?
Oh gosh, just seeing their excitement.
I was totally gonna say that. They were so excited. They were just like little scientists, and they were really excited to collect their data. And I mean, the kids feel like that what they learn is so important that people in the community care about it. You know what I mean? It's not just the teachers at Trailwood, but wow, these big important companies in our city even care about what we learn.
Well, energy, of course, is one of our most important resources, and so we want to be able to teach kids at a younger age about how they can use energy better and wiser and make different choices, so that when they leave the room, they remember to turn off that light, and so they understand exactly what resources in the world that they're using whenever they have lights on. And so when they leave the room, they can understand that they're using less of a resource.
The NEED project's message seems to be having an impact on students.
Well, I learned to turn off things when they needed to be turned off, and to save energy and stuff like that. I told my mom to start unplugging stuff to save more power and electricity. I turn off the lights when I'm not using them. I used to run the water when I brush my teeth. Now I don't. I turn it off. And I turn off the computer once I'm not, when I'm done with the computer. And I told my parents to do that also, and most of the times they do.
I want to thank Kansas City Power and Light for making it happen. That's the biggest thing, and I know our teachers are very grateful for it, and the kids love it. So, thank you.
The NEED project is cool. Yay!
In addition to what they're doing in the classroom, students who are involved in the NEED project get kits to take home so that they can share energy-saving ideas with their families too. Ever tried to master the 3-3-3, 3-6-3, or the cycle? Up next, we get a lesson in the sport of speed stacking.
Hi, my name is Brooke Howard. I read the book Sir Lancelot the Great by Gerald Morris. This book is about a knight named Sir Lancelot. He goes on a lot of adventures, but he usually can't go on one without his afternoon nap. Funny things happen to him on his adventures, like getting trapped in a dungeon by 4 queens who were begging him to marry one of them, and getting shot by an arrow in a spot that makes it very painful for him to sit down. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. Outstanding.
Welcome back. Elementary students across the district are feeling the need for speed as they work to get their up stacks and down stacks just a little bit faster. To learn more about this competition of quickness, coordination, and concentration, we visited McAuliffe's Speed Stackers.
What they're doing now is they're practicing, working on some different stacks with partners on their own and some team things. They want to go as fast as they can. We practice. They start out slow to get the right pattern, the right rhythm, and then they, eventually as they practice, just like anything else, they get good at it. They get pretty fast. So you'll see some kids in here that are pretty quick.
Speed stacking is a competition where participants try to stack and unstack special cups in different formations as fast as possible.
Well, it's really good with eye-hand coordination. I see it, and they cross the midline. Their hands you're using both hands, and they really have to, you can tell they really have to think about it.
To get a better idea of what it's all about, Jack Durst offered to show us the first basic stack, a 3-3-3.
So it'd be like this.
That's that.
From here, stackers go on to master the 3-6-3. But Jack says his favorite stack offers more of a challenge.
Then there is the cycle, where it's multiple stacks. You start with the 3-6-3, then you go to the 6-6, then you go to the 10, and I will show you how to do it. So that's really that.
The cycle is also a favorite for fellow 5th grader Brady Timmons. He's done it in 15 seconds flat.
Speed stacking is pretty much a very competitive sport. It takes a lot of hand-eye, and I find it entertaining to watch.
Brady's little sister Riley, a 3rd grader, is already an experienced speed stacker. So what's her advice to those just starting out?
Well, I tell them that it's pretty simple. I know it looks complicated, but it's more simple than it looks. And you just have to, really look at it and really think about it, and then you'll get the hang of it.
Everybody can be successful. It's not like a sport where, like basketball or football, the best athletes are going to do the best. These are just, anybody can be good at speed stacking.
In 5th grade now, Taylor Foss has been speed stacking since he was a 3rd grader.
I just think it's fun, and I just want to be the best. But if you practice enough, then you will get really good.
Congratulations to Taylor Foss, Jack Durst, Brady Timmons, and Charlie Martin, who all placed in multiple events at the district tournament held in February. The good, the bad, and the ugly. When it comes to job applicants, business people have seen it all. Now they're helping students at Horizons understand how to set themselves apart in the crowded employment arena. This gathering of seniors is part of Horizon High School's Pathways to Success. The program's goal is to prepare students for life after graduation. Today's focus, the job interview.
What we're going to do is we're going to try to not only give you some information about skills that you want to use in interviews, but also some things that you want to try to stay away from when you're interviewing.
Well, we're giving them tips about how to dress and how to introduce themselves, how to share their experiences in a way that will make them come across more professional. We're talking to them about things as simple as even just being on time and why that's important to an employer.
Go in and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. You may or may not have an opening right now, but may I have an application for when you do? Make sure that you're very professional even on that, because that truly sometimes is your first impression. If you're going into, say, Hy-Vee or whatever, you may be asking a manager for an application or how do I apply for a job here or whatever. So that may be your first impression, and so you don't want to go dressed like you would to the bowling alley.
Can we just talk in general?
Yeah. As a business owner, Jim Sloss knows what he's looking for in a job applicant.
Most importantly, I look for people that can work well with other people. In a small business, you have to work really well with the folks you work with and a lot of customers coming in. I don't want anybody that has attitudes, that feels that, that they're entitled to have bad days. Just people that play well with others, and that will listen and are positive.
Horizons Associate Principal Michael Orr wanted these students to get some experience with professionals from the community.
That's really what today was about, was getting some of the professionals in that have done HR work and that own their own business and that can talk to these kids on a level that says, hey, here's what you need to do to get out there when you interview, here's what you need to do to get a job, and here's how it needs to be done, and here's some positives that you can use as you go out into the work world.
Horizons senior Paula Guzman is taking the tips from the professionals to heart.
When I went to a job interview, I would always really nervous, and now I know I would never give eye contact, so that's something that I learned, that it is important to give eye contact, to dress well, to know the information about the company, know the history, and I do think this program has helped me with stuff.
When you're facing something new, knowing someone who's been there, done that can be a big help. Up next, how Indian Woods is showing potential students what it has to offer. Plus, Wii bowling with the superintendent when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. When Mission Valley Middle School closes, Indian Woods will be an option for some students. To learn more about what that would be like, Indian Woods invited some Mission Valley students to join them for a day of discovery. As Mission Valley students got off the bus, Indian Woods ambassadors were waiting inside to welcome students who could soon become their classmates.
With the closure of Mission Valley, we have 7th graders currently at Mission Valley who would be coming to the South area. Some of those students have transfer requests, others have question marks in their head, and others know that they're coming. But that transition can be very difficult for a middle schooler. So we're providing some mentoring opportunities and get acquainted activities for the kids today.
Each Mission Valley student was assigned a special Indian Woods ambassador.
Mrs. Morales spent a number of hours looking at what the the Brookwood students or the Mission Valley students' schedules were, and then she tried to match them with students of our own students who had similar schedules.
Once everyone was partnered up, it was off to the library to get acquainted over snacks.
We are delighted to have our guests with us today. We hope your day will be an enjoyable one, that you'll come away feeling welcome and also a little reassured about what Indian Woods is all about.
After getting to know each other, the ambassadors took their guests to class with them.
If you can remember your middle school experience, everything in middle school is traumatic, and especially a move to a brand new school in the middle of your middle school experience. So we wanted to provide a first friend for our guests coming over today. We wanted to answer their questions, help with their fears and concerns, let them see what we actually do here at Indian Woods, and provide an environment that maybe is not as scary as what they thought it would be.
Mission Valley students who do not go to Indian Woods will be transitioning to Indian Hills Middle School. What happens when you mix the superintendent, a Wii gaming system, and a room full of students? At Prairie Elementary, it brought a lot of laughs and even some learning.
Thank you for coming for Wii Bowling.
Good.
What do you guys say to Dr. Johnson?
Good morning, everybody.
First up, Dr. Johnson had to draw the names of his opponents.
The first person is Scotty.
Scotty! All right, you got a hard contestant there, a 5th grader.
You ever Wii bowled before?
Yes, I have.
I'm in trouble.
Pick any one of the 5 up there.
After a quick coaching session with Scotty, it was time for Dr. Johnson to roll his first ball.
There he goes. Looks good. He may get a strike. Oh my God! Wow! For your first time.
Now it was time for Kelly, Wade, and Scotty to show Dr. Johnson how it's done.
There you go.
Whoa! Nice job.
Then it was Dr. Johnson's turn again, with Coach Scotty at his side.
That looks good. Whoa! A strike! Wow!
Even with a strike in his corner, in the end, Dr. Johnson found himself out-bowled by all 3 competitors.
I got 4th place, which I thought was pretty good.
After bowling, everyone got to get up and get in on the fun with some dancing. Despite being new to the world of Wii dance, Dr. Johnson showed he had some moves, as did Principal Murphin, who showed his funky side. While everyone involved had lots of fun, there was learning going on too.
All the kids that have IEPs and a variety of special needs, and some students with autism, and that's how we started doing it, to help socialize and help those kids work with other kids in the classroom. And this was a non-threatening way that they could carry on conversations and be complimentary to each other.
In addition, it was all for a good cause.
And this was part of our United Way campaign. And so the teacher, Miss Carlisle, donated at least $50. I don't know what she donated, but she got chosen in the drawing. And instead of me doing like a bus duty, she thought this would be a better idea, and I totally agree. Had a great time.
Now, after Dr. Johnson's rather decisive defeat, there were rumors of a rematch. But Dr. Johnson said first he'd need at least a month of practice, so maybe he could come in 3rd. Up next, the shadow gets bowled over by Shawnee Mission Northwest.
I'm Christian.
And I'm Dalton.
And we're 6th graders at Sunflower Elementary.
We read A Difficult Boy by M.P. Barker.
This book is about a 9-year-old boy named Ethan whose parents owe the Lyman's money, so he has to go work for them.
Along the way, he meets a boy named Daniel, but then he notices he's Irish and thinks he talks weird.
Does Ethan ever get home?
You'll have to read the book to find out. We rate this book 4 out of 5 stars.
For some of the fighting.
No doubt about it, Shawnee Mission Northwest's bowling team is on a roll. This season, the girls' team captured both the regional and league titles and took fourth at state. So the Shadow thought it was a good time to hit the lanes to learn the secrets to their success. While the bowlers warmed up, I had a chance to chat with Coach Britt Haney.
So how's the team looking this year?
Well, the girls have been just getting better and better and better each year. The real exciting part about the girls, and what's been real exciting about this program, is 4 out of the 6 girls bowling in regionals tomorrow had never thrown a ball before high school. And we've learned a couple of things these couple years. And what we've found out here, and it's been really good, especially on the ladies' part, is that everybody sits on the sideline at least one meet and cheers.
So you're building that camaraderie.
And so, you know, you don't run into situations where people think, well, I should be bowling in this meet. Well, no, everybody, even varsity number 1, is sitting there cheering on their teammates. And I think it's really kind of helped the family aspect of the team. The girls' record this year is 19-0-1. We had a tie in the first meet of the year, which you would think out of all the thousands of pins we're knocking down, to have 2 schools actually tie is a very rare event. We've had a freshman come on who was a league bowler who's been bowling for years, and her sister's a senior. And the freshman has been pushing the senior's gotten better. So we have been led by 2 of the Corral sisters, Janie and Cassie. And it's been fun watching them root for each other, and they've been so competitive at each other in leagues for years, and now they're actually working towards the same thing.
When I was able to corral the Corral sisters, I learned that their bowling roots run very deep.
I've been a bowler since I was a baby. Our whole family is a big bowling family. It's crazy. Everybody bowls. They got us into bowling. Now we're here. I knew a lot before I came in here, but having Haney coach me a little more has helped me a little bit more. It's been awesome. Like, I've learned so much.
Freshman Cassie still has a few more years with the team, but bets she won't be the last Corral to bowl for the Cougars.
We have a little sister named Charlie, and she's pretty into bowling as well, and I have a feeling she'll be here over time. And how old is Charlie? She's 8 years old. 3, 2, 1.
But the Shadow discovered the Corral sisters aren't the only ones with bowling in their blood.
Are you yourself, were you a bowler?
Yes, my parents own a couple of bowling centers in Topeka. I didn't go to a daycare in the summer. I went to the
secret weapon.
That does help.
Born and raised in a bowling alley family.
I do like to say that the math also helps.
And is that, I believe that is your area of teaching expertise also?
Is math as well. I talk about transformations and other geometry terms with them, and they roll their eyes at me, but it's still, this game is just all geometry and physics.
So the role of the coach, how do you work with the kids?
We have 2 roles. Okay. We recruit beginning bowlers. So when we recruit beginning bowlers, we have to teach them how to actually throw a hook or a curve. A curve is more accurate because if you miss your mark to the left, it's because you've thrown it with less curve and it goes in, and it'll still get a strike. If you miss your mark to the right, you've thrown it with more curve, and it will come back and still hit the head pin and give you a chance for a strike. The law of probabilities is higher with a curve versus a straight ball. If you throw it straight and miss your mark, you've missed what you're trying to do. With the kids who have been bowling a lot more, what we tend to do, as you bowl, there's oil on the lanes, and the oil gets pushed down further and further. And so I act as a second set of eyes to help the kids move their feet to adjust to how the oil is affecting their ball.
And do you have some sort of a team chant or motto? Or?
We do have a team motto, and that's EPM, and that's every pin matters.
We have it on our wrist, yeah. It means every pin matters. And I mean, our first meet this year, we tied, and we ended up losing because the tiebreaker rule says whoever has the highest series wins, and that was the other team. So if we just got one more pin, like, we would have won.
So what sparked your interest in coming out for the bowling team?
I mean, I always liked to bowl. Like, it was really fun. So I just thought, why not? I mean, me and my friend were talking about it. We're like, well, there's bowling tryouts. We might as well go try out. I'm pretty sure I didn't even break 100 on my tryouts.
So, what are their secrets to getting better?
Practice. That's the number one thing. I don't know how many hours I spent this summer bowling on multiple leagues and camps. It's just drilling over and over again. I mean, throwing the ball, that's what helped me a lot.
Yeah, Coach Haney's so good about, he'll walk up on the lanes and point where we're supposed to throw so we know exactly where our mark is. And just learning how to curve the ball has helped so much. It's just so much more accurate. I mean, practice, and practice makes perfect, I guess.
Now it was time to see these bowlers in action.
So I stand on my mark, and I always look up, and I always want to throw him by the second arrow. You just gotta bend your knees and follow through.
Woo! After watching these two in action, it was my turn at the lane. Luckily, I had them there to assist.
Do you see the second arrow from the right?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna wanna throw straight over that, and when you release, you're gonna wanna go like this.
Okay.
You're gonna wanna answer your phone.
I'm gonna wanna, okay. So answer
With Kaylee pointing to my target, I rolled the ball.
Oh, excellent.
And success is something this team knows all about.
Cassie has been averaging 197 this year, which is the second highest average in the Kansas City area for all the girls.
That's impressive.
Janie has been averaging over a 200, her older sister, in the month of February. So I think her average is around 185 right now.
Okay.
Kaylee's at 170, which if Kaylee keeps it up this week, she will actually crack the top 5 of our all-time averages. So 3 out of the top 5 averages in our entire school history will fall this year alone.
Before we left, Coach Haney had a special surprise to share with the group.
On Fridays, Kansas City Star honors a male and female high school athlete of the week. And in tomorrow's paper, they're going to honor Janie as the high school athlete of the week. So congratulations, Janie. We're really proud of you.
Congratulations also go out to Cassie Carell and Hope Wooten, both medalists at state. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Thanks to Coach Britt Haney and his bowlers for letting me see what makes their team something special. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.